The caring of this country with the Kambangi, Kamilaroi and Dungari nations. I would like to pay respect to the elders past and present of these nations, and as a descendant of the Anwan people, I welcome you to this country. May you be guided safely with each step that you take by the spirits of our ancestors that still dwell on these lands.
And I couldn't hear anything.
Some of Australia's first settlers felt the cool
England Regional Art Museum, and I'd like to welcome you to Black Gully 2020. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we now stand and stream, the Anwan people, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and also acknowledge that it's NAIDOC Week with the theme Always Was, Always Will Be. This is the 10th Black Gully Festival. We're so proud to have it streaming from the gallery, and for those of you who are looking for more culture tomorrow, please come down and see the last day of Pack Saddle, living contemporary artists from Australia. If you want to build or grow your own art collection, you can do that tomorrow at Nearham. And now I'll hand you over to Dave Carr.
Thanks, Rachel, and welcome to the 10th Annual Black Gully Festival. We've been meeting here since 2011. Normally we're meeting outside. This year, because of COVID restrictions, we've had to meet inside Nearham and broadcast via Facebook to you. We could have had a few hundred people outside, but we thought we'll save that for next year to have the whole fun festival. Black Gully Festival started in 2011 as a celebration of the High Country Urban Biodiversity Project. it was a way that when we did that project, we could report to the community on what we'd done with our project. And so we put on a music festival to get people here so we could tell them what we'd done, including revegetation down here behind Neerim in Black Gully. So the first festival with this beautiful T-shirt was 2011. Then next year, we followed up with a second festival. Our first two festivals were held in February. And of course, it rains a lot in February, so we had quite a washout in the first couple of years. And we decided that after a couple of washouts, we would change to November. Our third festival was in November, and it didn't rain, and we had a great program of people. The festival always features local Armidale musicians, and it has the themes of music, art, environment and community. There's a very strong community in Armidale, very amazing community here, and the festival celebrates that and celebrates the musicians and the artists and the stall holders and the community activities. And in fact, in 2013, we had one of our big celebrations for the Armidale Tree Group turned 30, Armidale Council turned 150. We had 75 years of Armidale Council, and the keeping place turned 30. So that was the big birthday bat. After a while, we started bringing in some youth elements into the festival. We had a special youth festival one year with a tent with local youth acts, and we've done that ever since, highlighting the incredible talent that's here in Armidale amongst our youth, our young musicians. Some of the organisations that have been involved, apart from Neerim, has been the Armidale Tree Group, Southern New England Land Care, Sustainable Living Armidale, Armidale Tree Group, and this year, for the last few years, the Musicians of Armidale. In the last 3 years, the numbers have grown from around about 1,000 to last year we estimated we had over 3,000 people coming for the day. The beauty of the Armidale Festival, the Black Gully Festival, is it's a free event. So people can turn up for a little while or for the whole day. And the beauty of it is we get all sorts of ages. Last year, we were in the worst drought in living memory, and the festival did a lot to lift the spirits of people in Armidale. And so this year, in 2020, with COVID, we're ready to go with an online program. 2020, we'll be back with who knows what. So let's get on with it. I'm going to introduce our first act. Lily Rose is a young indie singer from Armidale. This is her third Black Gully Festival. She's doing some great tunes. Over to Lily Rose.
Hi, the first song I'll be singing is Sick of Losing Soulmates by Dodie.
What a strange being you are. God knows where I would be if you hadn't found me, sitting all alone in the dark. A dumb screenshot of youth. Watch how a cold, broken teen desperately lean upon a superglued human of proof. What the hell would I be without you? Brave face, torso, light soulmates. Won't be alone again. I can finally see you're as fucked up as me. So how do we win? We will grow old as friends. I promised that before, so what's one more in our grey-haired circle, waiting for the end? Time and hearts will wear us thin. So which path will you take? 'Cause we both know a break does exactly what it says on the tin. What the hell would I be without you? Brave-faced torso, lightly hide the truth. 'Cause I'm sick of losing soulmates. So where do we begin? I can finally see you're as fucked up as me. So how do we win? Yeah, I'm sick of sorry. Yeah, I'm sick of losing soulmates. So how do we win? I can finally see you're as fucked up as me. So how do we win? The next song we're singing is I Love You by Billie Eilish. It's not true. Tell me I've been lied to. Crying isn't like What the hell did I do? Never been the type to let someone see right through. And baby, won't you take it back? Say you were trying to make me laugh, and nothing has to change today. You didn't mean to say I love you. I love you. And I don't want to. Up all Each time that I close my eyes, I can feel you. I ran away with my imagination, and I am blinded by your light that's filling up the room. I have a secret I need to tell you. Exquisite visions fill up my mind. Do you remember me taking pictures of you as the light came through? You were running away, and I asked you for a place to stay. Do you remember me taking pictures of you? Taking pictures of you. I have a secret I need to tell you. I have been true and I needed no clue. We live inside extraordinary times. Exquisite visions fill up my mind. Do you remember me taking pictures of you as the light came through? You were running away, and I asked you for a place to stay. Do you remember me taking pictures of you? Such a wonderful thing to do.
This is my last song, and it is New Girl by Phineas.
Crush, who's got a crush? I like the way you blush. I like the way you bite. Touch, each time we touch. I wanna take too much. Keep me up all night. I wanna scratch your surface. I wanna feel your groove. I wanna be your needle. I wanna lick your wounds. You wanna play with fire. Stick and poke tattoo. You wanna play my new girl.
Thank you, Lily. What a fantastic voice she has. And for years now, I've been following Lily around town, watching her perform at various concerts and festivals, and I think she's really becoming into her own now. She's coming right into her own voice and songwriting. It's fantastic. Thanks again, Lily.
Right, Lily.
So my name's Mark, and I'll be interviewing people today. And my first person I'm interviewing today is Bar Finch. Now, a lot of people probably know Bar, but she's been a long-term resident of Armidale, moving in here in 1973. And you've probably seen her always out there engaged with local community organisations, mostly aiming for change by thinking globally and acting locally. I'm going to introduce Bar, and I'm sure she's got a few things to tell us. Bar,
Thanks,
how
Mark.
are you?
I'm pretty good today. Pretty good.
Excellent. Now, what have you been up to lately?
Look, I saw that strip show that Dave Carr did.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it was 10 years.
Yes, 10
Time
years.
goes so quickly.
It does
I
indeed.
remember Kath Ray was at an SLA meeting and we were talking about visions for 2020. This would have been in about 2008 or 9.
Right.
And she was saying, I'm 84, you won't believe how fast it goes. Well, it does go
There you
fast.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm glad you've got your Dieback Destroyer shirt on.
Well, there is a reason for this Dieback Destroyer shirt on today. We'll come to that in a minute.
Yes, that's what we're coming to.
Exactly.
And I've got notes, but I'll try not to look at them
all
too
right.
much, okay?
You can if you want to. I'll be looking at my notes. I can't keep
all
up
right
otherwise.
Then. All right, okay. I think it all started with Dieback, this festival, really, because way back then, in the 70s, early 80s, all the gum trees in New England were dying, and Armidale, being the great community it is, the academics on campus, the landowners out of town, the general public were all saying, we've got to do something about this. So there were public meetings and research projects.
Right.
That was great. The Tree Group started in 1983, another fabulous community organisation. And then they knew art was integral to environment, so there was this huge exhibition called Nova Anglica at Neeram. I've forgotten the exact date, but it was wonderful. Citizens Wildlife Corridors set up this wonderful map where you could walk through the landscape and see which bits of land were wildlife corridors.
Right.
And there was a terrific group called Tree Loss Lantana, which you might know something
I
about,
remember
and
Tree
Dave
Loss.
might know something about.
Yes.
Which again was environment and the arts being pulled together, which was very exciting. So there were people who probably were more interested in the entertainment and the arts, and then they were hit with environmental stuff. And then other people who were very, concerned about environment came along and thought, wow, this is great, singing and dancing. So hanging it all together is really the key thing in Armidale.
Exactly.
And then The Plague and the Moonflower.
Oh, yes.
Which was a major production that involved 300 people in Armidale who went up and were the main headline act at the Woodford Folk Festival. Armidale Orchestra, choirs, children's choirs, Aboriginal dancing group. Fantastic.
And the Gypsy Hot Club.
And the Gypsy Hot Club.
As well.
There
and
you go.
A monstrous
We'd
monster
be here
made
all
of
day.
plastic bags.
That's right, The Plague, which was
The Plague.
this enormous thing, which then featured in an Armidale Festival, Autumn Festival parade, and had to be very careful not to get the cables across the street. But that was another major environment and arts thing. And then in around 2007, peak oil and climate change were getting into general consciousness, and council wanted some sort of thing that would boost the city, but were interested in the environment. And so SLEX came into being. So there were, UNE Council, the community, Rotary, a whole lot of people. Sustainable Expo. It was a leading one.
that.
Lots of other towns have done it since, but that happened for a few years. And out of that grew Sustainable Living Armidale, which, as you know, and later people will talk about current things, but it's still going strong. And then there was the grant for High Cub, which was a major $2 million grant, which again, a group of people from SNELC, SLA, the council, all pulled together to put that grant application in, got it, and the rest is history. He's done his strip show about Black Gully, but again it pulled everything together. And later there was God's Drawing Board, which was another major production where the Armidale community commissioned Elena Katz-Chernin to write the score for a script that started with Ralph Steadman, but then was doctored by, I think, Dave Curtis and Bruce Mingies.
That sounds right.
And Kathy Welsford. And so, again, that was a very innovative community environment arts thing. And a great thing about Black Gully, as Dave said, is all sorts of community groups come into it, social justice groups, environment, refugees, Aboriginal reconciliation. And that's really just the last sort of 40 years or so. But I really want to do an acknowledgement of country at the end of what I'm saying, because really there's a very long history of environment, culture, community and people in this land. And the traditional owners have lived the environment, the connections between community and the arts and so on, and integrated all of that. So I think we're incredibly lucky to be on this land, in this country, in this community. And I hope the rest of the festival goes great.
Thank you very much, Bar Finch. Wonderful to learn all about the history of Armidale and the arts, connection with the arts. Just in one very simple sentence.
Yes.
I live in Armidale because...
It's the best place in the world.
Okay, there you go, folks. You heard it straight from Bar. Okay, and now we're going to go to a video which is a collaboration between Nerrim and Thalgara called Connecting to Country.
Language connects us to who we are and where we're from, and the beauty of our language for me is that, you know, we have a word for everything that we can feel, hear and see on our country, so everything has a word attached to it. We're teaching people about the connection to country and breaking that down into the words of the animals and the landscape that talks about that you have a responsibility of looking after a certain pocket. So what we modern day contemporarily call our totems.
So what do you reckon that track is for a animal that we talked about?
Snake.
Yeah, nearly.
Oh, I think that something that walks like this.
Yeah.
A heel cane.
Yeah, so you've got the footprints here, those dots, and their tail is the one that comes in behind them. And that's a goanna. Can you remember the word for goanna, or anyone? Spot on, well done.
Well done.
You have a responsibility and an obligation of looking after each other and the stories, but for me, importantly, the country, because without people who don't manage the country, who don't look after it, we've seen what the effect it can have on the environment. So when we talk about, you know, we had fire, people who had the knowledge on fire, water, trees, so we use bark and that sort of stuff for medicinal purposes or even hunting purposes for fish and stuff like that. So you have a certain knowledge holder who is a certain, I suppose, expert on that story. It's pretty much maintained sustainability here in Australia for over 40,000 years. So we must have had some really good systems in place that managed land, that looked after land, and it had rules and laws with it. And you had to have a good positive relationship. So if I can teach that to kids in everyday life stuff about, you know, when you go to school, there's rules. When you get a job, there's rules. So if you abide by the rules, everything just works out.
Humility.
Humility.
So what does that mean again?
That we're all the same.
We're all equal.
No one's better than somebody else.
And even to the point, like I say, with Aboriginal people, you're no better than that tree and that tree's no better than you, because you're part of that. When you're in that circle, you're part of something.
Kids are kids. This age group, I think from that probably 8 to 13-ish, just engage in the art side of things. They love the storytelling. And again, this is the best time to teach them, because from the 0 to 5 years of age, I think even to the 8, they're sponges, they soak it up. And they have fun, they have innocence, so they're not judgmental on it. They engage with it, they ask questions, some really funny questions at times, but they walk away going, I've learned something different about Aboriginal culture. I'm not hearing all that negative stuff about Aboriginal people. So if we can plant it here while they're young, but nurture that through the education system, like primary, secondary, even into the universities, we're just better off as a nation, because people are just more educated, they're more understanding to that. So I think it's important. Let's get them while they're young.
You got to go Mwanda. You're good at this, aren't you?
Our next act this afternoon is Windred and Elspeth. Greg's been in Armidale for about 6.5 years. He's a singer-songwriter. He writes some great songs. He's performed at a couple of Black Gully festivals with his band, the Racketeers, in the past. In this version, he's down to an acoustic stripped-back level with Elspeth. Unfortunately, Armidale's going to lose these two to Melbourne in the next couple of weeks, so their gain is our loss. So, Greg Windred and Elspeth.
Thank you, Dave. This is a song I wrote 10 years ago, almost to the day. It was on the 11th of November 2010, a date which will become apparent as being what the song is all about, Remembrance Day. A song called Tick of the Clock. It's a song on my Drought and War album. In a faraway field of rubble and mud, men lived and died in trenches of blood. All be over by Christmas, they thought, while backwards and forwards they fall. The tick of the clock, the stroke of the pen, the end of all wars, never justifies such incomprehensible cause, while others rebuilt, men divided the spoils, gathered in a room of reflection. The tick of the clock, the stroke of the pen, the end of all wars, never again. Fields of green grew back over mud, red poppies echoed the rivers of blood. The madness that ceased at 11 a.m. has been played out again and again. The tick of the clock, the stroke of the pen, the end of all wars, never again. the time on the clock has run out. The tick of the clock, the stroke of the pen, the end of all wars, never again. The tick of the clock, the stroke of the pen, the end of all wars, never that was Ticket. Thank you. This is a song I wrote about 5 years ago, and when I did, I got Al in to play a bit of horn on it just to see how it sounded, and it sounded brilliant. So it's a song called Walls Fall Down, and it's a song about our country's wonderful refugee policy. At his feet as the cultures collide, can't recollect when his empathy died. Born on the wrong side of the wall, chain wire spotlights waiting to fall. When the walls fall down and bury our shame, the walls fall down, then rise again. Man on the news tells us help's on its way as the bloodshed escalates every day. But he doesn't say who are pulling the strings, the men in the shadows behind the scenes. Born on the wrong side Now this next song, our last song, is one that I wrote a couple of weeks ago. It's a song for Meg Greenie Purcell. A song called Restless Spirit. Living in a town that I call home. Home's just a place to call my own for now. For now. Got no roots down, got no plans. One day soon I'll be off again somehow. Somehow. Restless stranger, I know you well. I understand the story that you tell. Even though we'd never met before, we have a bond forevermore. Never felt like settling down. One day soon I'll roam around to Rome. Restless spirit understands it's good to sometimes spend some time alone. Alone. Restless stranger, I know you well. I understand the story that you tell. Even though we'd never met before, have a bond forevermore. Met up in a northern bar. We couldn't help but know each other from where we sat. You shared your tale, I shared a song. You said you'd better move along, and that was that. Restless stranger, I know you well. I understand the story that you tell. Even though we never met before, we have a bond forevermore. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Greg. And Al. Thanks very much. I haven't got it right in front of me. That's what happens in this business. Thank you very much. That was a beautiful rendition of a beautiful song that Greg's written, the last one there, and the other ones as well. I've always enjoyed Greg's performances. He's done a lot of interesting solo work and also with his band, and he's going to be missed in this town, definitely. But hopefully we'll get a chance to go and see him in Melbourne one day. Good luck in Melbourne.
Thanks, mate. We'll see you at the Wellness Dog this Thursday.
Oh, good. Publicise that. Wellness Dog this Thursday. Excellent for his last gig. Thank you very much. Now, our second interview today is with two fairly well-known people in this town, Neil Horton and Bruce McKenzie. Welcome, Neil. Mangies. Oh, sorry. Now, it says here, I know it's not a good start, but I've always wondered, why is it Mangies and not, it says here something else, no? Definitely. Okay, Mangy. All right. Thank you very much. Now, Neil, he's been, for the last 10 years, president of the Armidale Drama and Musical Society, which was formed from the merger of the old Armidale Playhouse Performance Arm and the Armidale Musical Society. And Bruce, he's been closely involved in the community, in the performing arts over his time here, more than 30 years. So Bruce and Neil, welcome.
Thank you.
To the
Thank
2020 you. Black Gully Festival.
A little bit different
from last year. Yes, right. A bit different from last year.
Absolutely.
So tell me, how did you two meet each other? Where was it and when?
Well, I better start because I got the microphone. Obviously, we have a medical, professionally, we're linked through local medical sort of community, but I guess arts-wise, through the Musical Society. Bruce had started doing some musical direction for the Society a few years before I arrived in '96. And
right.
Our first show together was, as director and musical director, was Guys and Dolls in '97.
Right.
And then I asked, I had a keen passion to do Les Miserables in 2002, I think it was.
Right.
And Bruce was musical director for that as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, and we've done numerous concerts with the orchestra, with Bruce's alignment with the symphony orchestra and
Excellent.
other musical things.
So while you've got the microphone, tell me, what's happening with ADMS this year?
Nothing. Well, unfortunately, we basically this year, obviously, as we all know, it's been a bit of a letdown for the arts. Doesn't matter where you are, and what level you're involved at. We were about to put Favourite Shorts on, which is our series of short plays, and we had to close it down. We were about to start rehearsals for the ABBA musical Mamma Mia, which was long. Everyone was very keen to see, and we shut that down the day after we announced the cast. So the rest of the year was pretty much, unfortunately, a bit of a letdown, and we haven't really done anything other than, and Bruce will probably talk about this a lot greater length than I am, the renovation of the old but brand new Armidale Playhouse.
Fantastic. I've seen some pictures and it looks really, really good.
Well, I might put over to Bruce so he talks,
please
so
do.
not just me.
So Bruce, how have you been coping with not being able to get up in front of an orchestra?
It's been terrible, actually, but we've survived. The orchestra's still going, but it's just strings at the moment because there are more restrictions on wind players and brass players because of because of breathing and
right
and that sort of thing. And so there is actually a symphony orchestra concert up in Gara, Armidale Symphony going to Gara next weekend, but it'll only be the string players. But we hope we'll get back together. But we've also been we've got a small choral group too called Fury, and we've got back to Neil and I are both involved in that, and that's got back together, and we're doing a live concert in December, which should be fun. So gradually things are opening up, which is encouraging.
Okay, so tell me, Bruce, why do you do it?
Because I love it, and it's good to. I mean, I spend the majority of my life doing my job, which I love.
Right.
But it's also good to do something that's completely different. And I think I think it's true that a lot of people involved in the medical field seem to gravitate towards music as a relaxation and as a fulfillment, which I certainly do, and I think Neil does that too. Yeah.
So it's a stressful job.
Yeah, but it's not exactly ADMS. It's not completely without stresses.
That's right. We deal with a huge range of people, and so it keeps your management skills at the forefront.
I'm sure it does. I've been actually privileged to be in both your productions at various times. I was in Jesus Christ Superstar. That was great fun, and I was also in the Plague and the Moonflower with my children, which was a wonderful event. Bar Finch talked about that previously. Now I want to know, have you ever had any stuff-ups in any of the productions, and how did you get out of them?
Look, every production has its stuff-ups. It's whether the audience notices it's the important thing.
I think most of them are probably ones that they don't notice, or things like that. I think probably the one that does come to mind is when we did Jesus Christ Superstar in 2007, and the fire alarms went off in the services club. So in the middle of the second act, we all had to go outside in the middle of winter and stand on the bowling greens, freezing to death. And I had this vivid memory of the gentleman, and I've forgotten his name and I apologise, who was playing Pharaoh in sort of not much clothing, singing Elvis songs in the middle of the entertaining the people outside as well until the fire alarms until the fire brigade let us back in.
Oh, right.
So that was probably the thing that I remember. And when that happened again, also at the same venue for an orchestra concert that we did as well.
Well, there you go.
Gilbert and Sullivan, I think it was.
Professional to the end.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Our pleasure.
It's been lovely talking to you. And let's see. I believe that everything that was going to be on this year is going to be on next
for
year.
the ADMS, yes.
Yes.
We'll have our series of favourite short plays, hopefully early February, March. Then we'll be hopefully staging Mamma Mia in July, and then directed by Mark Bourne, Little Gem, which is a 3-handed female cast of a tragic comedy, according to the quick research I did before I came. That'll be on in October, and probably another play by Graham Patterson, a local playwright, at the end of the year as well. Right. So stay tuned. Come and see us.
And Bruce, yes, please do.
I'd just like to give a bit of a promo for the Playhouse. It's an absolutely fantastic venue that it's going to be. 100-seat theatre. That's people who remember the dilapidated old shed on the corner down there on Ohio Street.
I do.
Will be absolutely amazed.
Wow.
And we have to say the community backing it's been amazing. People, I mean, the society itself has over the years has put all its profits into it, and we've got government funding, but also local people. And I don't want to embarrass people too much, but John Hadfield, who's been renovating our piano for us, all totally gratis. Terry Cook, who's putting this fantastic display of photographs of our shows together. The list goes on and on about community members who've really given their all for this, and I think it's going to be a huge asset to our community. So I invite everyone who's watching this, come along to see some shows. We're not quite sure when it's going to open, but we think...
For musos like yourselves, it's there as a venue too. So
terrific. All right.
And I think it'll be a fabulous venue for it, and it's state of the art. It's got everything that you would want.
Does it have a bar?
Yes, it has a bar. State of the art bar.
Okay, we'll be down there.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Our pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Okay. Well, that was Bruce and Neil, and now we're going to another video.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back live from Neeram with our next live performer. This is Skele Jay. Skele Jay is an Armidale-based self-taught rapper who's now living and studying in Brisbane. He's come back just for a special performance today for the Black Gully Festival. Skele Jay, the man, the myth and the skeleton. Over to you.
Thank you. Well, I'll get right into it. I do apologise for any explicit language. I will keep it to a minimum. Check, check. Skele Jay. Ready or not, man? If it rains, would a chalk fade? Gotta roll the dice in this ball game. See it all change, but how am I supposed to walk away and leave everything I've known, everything I've caught home? See, it's funny now, I struggle to call home. Tears in my eyes when I hear the ringtone. Still got a long way to go. Didn't even know if I wanna be king, cause maybe it is what it is, or maybe it isn't. Maybe this time it's different. Maybe the picture's bigger than we first envisioned. Maybe if we had listened, always getting in the mission, but baby, we would get the same type of different. Started at the bottom, same shit, different problem, but we made it out. Small risk, big profit if we take them down. Cause in this ring, it's either die or take the crown. Ready or not, cause here I come. The deeper the pain, the better than not. I lost my brother when I was too young. I remember the days we would pick and forget-me-nots until the bell rung. Nowadays I'm sitting by myself thinking what the fuck self-love. But who am I to judge? I'm still looking in the mirror at the man I once was. I'll be fine if I ever let go. Look him in the eyes and set him to stone. Or dreamt of booking flights and selling our shows. Or dreamt of husband. I was feeling low. Tell me how's your story go? I'll be fine if I ever let go. Look him in the eyes and set him to stone. Or dreamt of booking flights and selling our shows. I've been through too many highs, but I was feeling low. Tell me how's your story go? See, I find it's better to tell them what they wanna hear. Otherwise, why would they want me here? Year after year, it's the same shit. I feel like the power that changes. It's like 1 minute is good, the next is dangerous. 1 minute turns friends to strangers, love to hatred. One day they feel it, the next they fake it. Some days are fixed, the next they break it. Some days are shit, other days are the greatest. I'm reading the story and turning the pages. And if we bleed for glory, nobody's turning the tables. Cause people see what they can't see in a world so cold. Heartbreaks can be fatal. I'll be fine if I ever let go. Look him in the eyes and set him to stone. I dreamt of booking flights and selling out shows. I went through too many highs, but I was feeling low. Tell me, how's your story go? I'll be fine if I ever let go. Look him in the eyes and set him to stone. I dreamt of booking flights and selling out shows. I went through too many highs when I was feeling low. Tell me how's your story go? I'll be fine if I ever let go. Look him in the eyes and set him to stone. I dreamt of booking flights and selling out shows. I went through too many highs when I was feeling low. Tell me how's your story go? It's like once upon a time we lived happy ever after. It could not happen any faster. They remember the tears, forget the laughter, forget the flowers. They remember the suck-ups, the fuck-ups, the break-ups. The times I kicked the bucket and got my shoes wet. I'm sick to my stomach. We cut the strings to the puppet and tell them who's next. We risk it all for nothing. It's crazy we live life with a few texts. Cause home screens replace movie sets. This is for the angels and demons, the high school sweethearts and the newlyweds. For the ones who've taken the next step, the ones who fight to the last breath. So it's crazy when we think about the future. It's always in past tense, but I told you in the future I'd still be rapping. Now it's last camera action. Gotta tune in next week to find out what happens when they're just a kid who made it to the city from the backwoods. So tell me, is my story even that good? I'll be fine if I ever let go. Look him in the eyes and set him to stone. I dreamt of too many highs when I was feeling low. Tell me how's your story go? I'll be fine if I ever let go. Look him in the eyes and set him to stone. I dreamt of booking our flights and selling our shows. I went through too many highs when I was feeling low. Tell me how's your story go? That was the first song that I ever got written and recorded in Brisbane. The film clip's out on YouTube. And yeah, I'm going to record these next songs in the next couple of weeks, get them out on all platforms. This next song I wrote about suicide. It's a big impact in my life when I was 13. So I hope you didn't like this one. Check, check. This goes out to anybody that's committed suicide. Let me ask you a few questions. Tell me. Why does it seem that the world's hanging by a thread? We were all innocent, some of my friends never made it out. Now's a whole new meaning to hanging out in the sheds. So should we blame it on a small town when the kids in the playground have the same wars in their heads, same thoughts in the bed, same wars, same what's it all for? Caught up on that he said, she said, and I wish that we caught up on the weekends. So tell me, is this how the weekends cornered in the deep end? No one warned us that the storm was heading straight for us. Stay cautious cause the colors fade, but the pictures won't. These days we have life saved on a picture phone. Picture this, I can't picture my friends not coming home. I remember the phone call, the tears, the stone wall, the broken voice when my mother cried, the fire in my eyes warmed the cold for to remember when we walked to the old store down the same road we used to call home behind the rose thorns. Now life's just like a kind of wild showstorm, trying to find my rainbows behind the closed doors. See, the keys seem different but they all fit the lock. Some doors aren't meant to be open, just like some windows stay shut. Always see a ray of sunshine in the eyes of the woman of my dreams when she tells me to wake up. When life's a beautiful type of chaos, some shit can't be made up. We were made tough, made to hate, taught to love. Now we play the game, see we're always clearing plates, always a piece of us watching from above. See, I'm thinking maybe this is it, maybe I should call it quits. I wouldn't believe us if we told them that we did this all as kids, addicted to the stupid shit. We were just a bunch of misfits, and now strike three isn't just a bunch of mishits. A swing, batter, swing. Everyone knows if you strike a bell rings. If we walk through hell, will I hear angels sing? As I take another hit, thinking maybe this is it, maybe I should quit and head back home. Problem is, I don't know, I'm staring at the unknown again, not knowing where this road will end. If I head back home, will I even know my friends? Who knows, it's getting cold again. It's been one hell of a year, it's only been 6 months. I'm hoping that I don't have to fold again, but they say the city never sleeps, the city never lies. In the small towns where we hide, it's where we're alive, it's where we keep our pride, it's where we speak our minds. See, I miss that everybody knows your business via this, the support from a distance, the laws of a missus trying to find his place in life. See, some of my friends never made it out, some are doing fine, some got kids and some are doing time. Wish we could go back to the summer times, back to my younger life, man. I grew up too fast just to wonder why. Now I can't help but to wonder why. Alright, this next song I wrote last year because someone told me that I couldn't write a song over this instrumental. So like it wasn't anything to do with anything. But y'all thought I was bluffing. Check. Skele Jay. Let me ask you a few questions, man. I'm gonna take a seat. How many coins can we fit inside this wishing well? Did you wish me well? Should we kiss and tell? Quick before we miss a bell. See these other kids think they know me well. Shit, I don't even know myself. It's like I'm hellbound but heaven sent. Smoke clouds of medicine. This is for the small towns I represent. Not here to put the city on the map. Trying to make the stacks. Trying to find my way back to a world I want to. Mic check 1, 2. Nowhere left to run to. Just the 3 AM thoughts I've clung to. Dreams of making it to the top. Up to you if you wanna come to. See my haters, watch them come through. Tell me what we're gonna do once the candle fades. Once we part ways, once the chandelier breaks. So take my knight, my horse, my pawn, my queen, and leave my king in checkmate. I got a new lease in life, it's not my fault you signed a check late. See, it was funny, I was putting my demons to rest when I was up late. See, it was shift a coin, hope my luck would change. All I had was clothes on my back. I spent the money that I tucked away. Can't save me from myself, so I can't save a dollar. What value is money, right? Gotta spend money to survive. Should we work 9 to 5, risk it all for a small paycheck? Roll the dice, wanna know how your day spent. Fuck fake friends, fuck struggling to pay rent, fuck making amends for something agency. I grew up too fast, be living off past temptations. But that's the thing. See, I'm past the point of breaking and they question the answer just to make a statement. Maybe I'm mistaken, this is how the world really is. Maybe I'm a replacement of feeling fit as gig trap when his feelings caving in. Time to release the beast, he's got the keys to the basement that he's hiding in. It's funny, can't tell the world where they're hiding him. But they say change is good, so dollars are better, that's why I keep notes. If only change could stretch a dollar forever, then if money inside this envelope and living off endless hope. So let me tell you about a shoestring budget, I'm counting every dime in the store, success. Lately my life seems to suck less. It's about time I kick the bucket, run a ruckus, I can see the puppets, almost be the puppet. See, life's that chick that we undress. If you're on top, or you're under it, then you're left wondering, what's next? What's a dollar if it doesn't make sense? Fuck fake friends, fuck struggling to pay rent, fuck making amends for something agency. I grew up too fast, we live off past temptations. See, the world changed since I was 18. People still have the same schemes, came in to want to change things. Stuck in a daydream, fighting over keys to the chain link. At the end of the day, nothing's changing if it's picture perfect. Now we're just mixing the colors and it's just picture perfect. No, I'll be hitting hundreds, it's a different journey. See, it's not 100 words, I'm running as one man, making something and nothing. Tell me. And this next song I dedicate to everybody back home. This is for the kids in the yard. Check, check. Skele Jay. Do you remember the kids you thought had no hope, chasing his dreams, and now he's so close, still broke, facing the streets and see us homegrown. They don't know where the grass is always green, will this old boat stay afloat? If I'm sailing the seas, see I walk for a while and I'm at the best. They all talk about the mile, never take a step. Talking about the weather, always want a rain check. Talking about the woods like we got the same neck, same house, same desk, fake claims, all I got are ink stain checks. Tell me how's your day spent? Fuck fake friends, what's temptation? Stop the hating, so sick, can't keep the doctor waiting. Mask off, mask on, almost lost the patient. Half right, half wrong, see us soft and dangerous. See I ran a race and there's no finish line. I hate to say it, but there's no winning time. I play the game, it's a gimmick, they get rid of the prize. It's silly if we end up winning, then we'll never give it another try. Maybe in another life I'll know better. Maybe you already know I'm no better. Stuffed up a few times, maybe I just don't know better. Thought it was 6 feet, didn't know it was this deep. Sink was always piece by piece until the puzzle won't fit. Time to release the beast, only trouble is the beast won't sit. Who said that the beast won't hit? Who's the next from the East Coast kids? There's a few left at the back of the class, and there's a new step, new flex, stacking the cards. And this is for the kids back in the yard, for the kids back in the yards, and for the business when we're mapping the stars. And the swiftness as I'm rapping these bars, it's a quick shift when we're tackling hard. You know the misfits when they're back in the yard. It's time to take another hit like we're back in the park. Same shit, so it's best to leave Jack in the past. You wanna know, beat you back at the start, back at the park and head of the class. It's your round, if you're around the back of the bar, it's a war ground when we walk round back in the park. And this is for the kids back in the yard, and for the kids back in the yards, and for the business when we're mapping the stars. And the swiftness as I'm rapping these bars, it's a quick shift when we're tackling hard. You know the misfits when they're back in the yard, and for the kids back in the yard, and for the business when we're snapping these stars. And the swiftness as I'm rapping the bars, it's a quick shift when we're tackling hard. You know this kid's gon' be back from the start. You know the kids back in the yard, and then the swiftness as I'm rapping these bars, it's a quick shift when we're tackling hard. But this is for the kids back in the yard. See, I miss home. I do miss a hometown, but this city is pretty fun. I finished my diploma in May, and then I will be a qualified music producer. That's pretty fun. So I've just been slaving away the last 2 years, trying to make something with the music. I've got 2 tracks that I've released with a friend of mine on all platforms. You probably heard So High and Mirror Mirror. And then these tracks that I just performed, I will have them recorded probably next weekend, and then I'll see how it goes in the next few weeks. It'll be up on all platforms for everybody to hear. I just want to say a quick shout out to the Black Gully Festival for having me. It's my 3rd year back here, and it's always fun to come back home, and it's always a good reason to come back home. So it's always something that I hold close to, and you know, I try to work towards having something to show, something different every time I come back here. So I just hope you guys enjoyed that, and yeah, you'll find me on Facebook, on Instagram, Spotify, anything, Apple Music, whatever you like. And hope everyone has a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Thank you. Thanks, Skele Jay. Fantastic. I'll just get myself set up here. Okay, come on over. Here we go. There you go. Now I get a chance to interview 2 doctors. We have, on the left, Dr. Jennifer Hamilton, and on the right, Dr. Sujata Allen. Doctors of different things, though. Jen is a lecturer in English literature at UNE, and she researches in the cultural dimensions of the climate crisis. Dr. Sujata Allen is from the Armaghan Aboriginal Health Service and Sustainable Living Armidale, and they have a project called the Armidale Climate and Health Project, and we're going to be asking about that today. So welcome to Black Gully Festival. It's a pleasure. So tell me, who wants to go first?
I'll go
okay,
first.
right
Sure.
up there. Okay. What is the Armidale Climate and Health Project?
Good question. So this is a project that is funded by the Adapt New South Wales Climate Resilience Grant, And it's basically a project that will involve 6 workshops and a community festival over the next 12 months. And it's really looking at developing these workshops collaboratively with the community and looking to answer the question, like, how can we address climate change and human health at the same time, because they're really interlinked.
Certainly, yes, exactly. Did you want to add anything to that, Jennifer?
What will I add to that? I think that one of the things about this grant and the process that it's initiating is that we're able to have lots of really wonderful conversations with the community, and in some ways, like, coronavirus has enabled that because it slowed the timeline of the grant down. So the last 6 months we've just been able to have lots of meetings and start discussions, and then next year things will really start to take off.
Okay, so and how does your work connect with this project?
Well, yeah, I'm a lecturer in English literature at UNE, but as you mentioned, my research is in environmental cultural studies, and we have a lot of information across every body of scholarship that's telling us that the environmental crisis is very serious and kind of what we need to do. And so because I'm sort of in the institution that holds that knowledge, I feel it's kind of my responsibility to mobilise the community around it. We do need more research, but we don't necessarily need more research on how bad things are in relation to the environment. We actually just need to figure out new ways of collaborating across organisations like Armagen and SLA, and this project is a really wonderful opportunity to be able to kind of build new ways of working together.
Okay. And how about you? How does your work connect with this project?
Yeah, I guess my work connects in, I think, lots of ways, because I guess, climate change, the way I see it, is very much a issue that affects human health very directly and indirectly through like mental health effects, the direct health effects of heat waves and bushfire smoke, and we just see more and more of that happening in Australia. So I think, and often it's sort of seen as such a large problem that it's hard to bring back down to the community level. So I think this project's really important because it's both tackling that big scale problem on a community level, but also centring Indigenous knowledge and working with the Indigenous community in Armidale to really try and, I guess, draw these things together in a really practical way and try and work, the workshops, we hope, won't be just like kind of good information and then go away and forget about it. It'll be more practical and actually kind of help seed like real life projects that can improve people's health. Okay, so how can people get involved with this project? Well, they can email Jen.
I have a sort of other project which is called the Community Weathering Station, and currently that's our online sort of platform or entry point for this project. We will have a project website soon, but I'll give you the web address. It's www.communityweatheringstation.net, and or you can look me up on the UNE website and get other contact details, but there's a form that you can sign up to the mailing list on that website, and then we'll start rolling out information. Probably we'll send out a little bit towards the end of the year, and then, as the workshops come up next year, that's people who are on that mailing list will be able to be contacted.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much for coming in today to tell us about your project.
Thanks so much.
So, how's the music going? Are you still doing music?
Yeah, still doing some music. We've got a new little fresh new band that's had one gig at the launch of the Climate and Health Project called the Free Range Pickers.
Fantastic.
So hopefully you'll be seeing us
Excellent.
around.
Actually, can I add to that?
Yeah.
We did have the launch here on the 26th of September, but it was sort of hampered a little bit by a freezing cold day and COVID restrictions. But one thing that was wonderful was how much music there was as part of that day and the launch, and we were thinking, it would be cool to have workshops that somehow integrated music, because it's just such a wonderful way of being together and thinking about things, and then feeling new things together. So hopefully we'll incorporate some music into our workshops.
Excellent, sounds perfect. Thanks again for being part of the 2020 Black Gully Festival.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And now another video.
Welcome back live to the Black Gully Music Festival at Nearan. Our next act is The Sinners, fantastic vocal harmony group, Emily Jane and Brendan Passy. And while we've got Brendan here, Brendan has been doing the sound for today. He's done a fantastic job, really great. We couldn't have done it without him. And we've also got some really fantastic people doing the video. Today we've got 100%. Ian Mackay, Leslie Zabo and Mark Boyd, who are making it all possible. Me and them. The Sinners.
Thanks, Dave.
Hello. Well, howdy folks, I'm Emily and Mrs. Brendan. Together we're the Sinners. We're going to start off with an original tune called Band T-shirts. When Well, this ain't our first rodeo either. I've been lucky enough to be invited to Black Gully a few times.
Indeed you have.
It's been a rough old year for a lot of people, for a lot of reasons. There's a few people that we've had to, from our, beloved Armidale community, we've said goodbye to this year. So, just want to send out big love to all those people who are feeling that at the moment.
Like a resolution under a starry sky. You are my one solution to the mystery of why. Let's pack a bag and migrate to anywhere we please, and clamber up the mountains underneath the sea. Just you and me. When it goes on for the rest of our lives, we don't have to think around what hasn't happened yet. For whatever was around us, I won't let you forget. You're my lover. You're my lover. I love when we go walking backwards as far as we can, finding ourselves a lookout to watch the daily circus parade. Clouds, they don't know they're crazy, shooting themselves out of their guns. We laugh and we cry as the acrobats fly, wondering if they're crying too. When it goes on for the rest of our lives, while it may be hard to navigate this masquerade, we can still go back to our place with some cheap champagne. You're my lover. You're my lover. I already know my last words. There'll not be regrets or advice. You're my lover. You're my lover. You're my lover. You're my love. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll slip you that $20 later, guys.
All right. We got one more.
Yeah.
This one's got a little bit more edge to it, so we thought it would be a good one to finish with. And I hope we don't blow out the audio over there because it could get a bit louder.
Okay.
Just FYI. Standing in line at the equestrian, looks like it's about to rain. I got two small kids and I'm late on the rent. Wife's dead 2 weeks to the day. Dead 2 weeks to the lunatic looking through a keyhole. I hit my kids when I don't mean to. I'm down, dog lying on the sidewalk. Another victim of the mortgage bubble pop. Waiting on the other shoe to dry. Melanie lives at the house next door. Bench full of auburn curls. I seen her standing in the mud with a baseball glove, spitting at the other girls. Spitting at the other girls. Well, here she comes in the afternoon with some apples and a pack of reds. She bathes my babies and she reads me to sleep. Nothing much ever gets said. Nothing much ever gets said. Every now and then I get evil. I'm ashamed in the shadow of a steeple. I'm a lunatic looking through a keyhole. I hit my kids when I don't mean to. I'm a damn dog lying on the sidewalk. Another victim of the mortgage bubble pop. Waiting on the other shoe to dry. The cops turned up with the lights turned off. Judge Johnny from across the street had some calls last night. Something didn't look right. That means you better come with me. Accusations in the room with the neon light. She said, don't you pay us no money. All we ever shared was loneliness. He and I was two of a kind. He and I was two of a kind. That's right. Every now and then I get evil. I'm ashamed in the shadow of a steeple. I'm a lunatic looking through a keyhole. I hit my kids when I don't mean to. I'm a damn dog lying on the sidewalk. Another victim of the mortgage bubble pop. Waiting on the other shoe to dry. Every now and then I get evil. I'm ashamed in the shadow of a steeple. I'm a lunatic looking through a keyhole. I hit my kids, I don't mean to. I'm a damn dog lying on the sidewalk. Another victim of the mortgage bubble pop. Waiting on the other shoe to dry. Thank you very much.
Thanks everybody, have a great festival. See you next year, fingers crossed.
Well, thank you, Emily and Brendan. Fantastic duo they are. We're going to go now to another interview. This one's a little bit unusual. We've got an animal friend has come in, especially for today. Come and sit down, folks. Over here. Right there. Welcome to Kelly Koala and Des Anderson. G'day, Des.
G'day, Mark. Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. Now, Des Anderson, he's been recently appointed as the dedicated koala conservation officer for the southern New England region. And he's on a project called the Northern Tablelands Koala Project. Des, how has this project come about?
The project came about, it's sponsored by the New South Wales government, which run a program called Saving Our Species. This particular facet of the project is sponsored by, is hosted by Southern New England Landcare. And what it does is employ a dedicated koala officer for the southern New England region.
And why is this important for the survival of the koala?
Well, as a lot of people will be aware, the koala's been under a lot of pressure with bushfires and drought. And not only that, the hotter temperatures and the general pressure they get from living in and around urban environments has caused a lot of movement in their population. A lot of recent data shows in our Northern Tablelands area that they're actually starting to move to what's called refuge areas, of which Northern Tablelands seems to be an area that they prefer. They come up here to obviously find feed trees and habitat, and I think escape some of the hotter weather as well. So
Sure.
that puts, I guess, emphasis on our region to try and assist conservation programs.
So where are the local koala populations? Are they close to town?
Yeah, definitely. Look, there's in Armidale itself, there was a report of a koala in St Mary's School about a week ago,
Right.
so that's very local.
Mhm.
And luckily she was picked up and transported to a nicer bushland area. But particularly the corridors, the vegetated corridors north and south of Armidale are known to support moving koalas and koala populations.
Wow.
And the Armidale Regional Council hosts a website dedicated to reporting koalas in those areas.
Okay, so that's how the community can be directly involved by reporting koalas they see.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
A big part of this project is to involve the community and get at least sightings going onto the register. But there's a host of other ways that the community can be involved, from reporting and monitoring to knowing what to do, the right steps to take if they come across a threatened or distressed animal, to actually building and developing some habitat if you're lucky enough to own a few acres.
So just on the issue of the public and interacting with koalas,
Yep.
We've seen a lot of things during the bushfires where people were actually giving them water. Is that an advisable thing to do?
Yeah, that's a big place that the community can help, is to host what we call koala drinkers, which is to maintain and manage specialised drinking units that are usually placed close to habitat or refuge areas where koalas can access them. Part of the project is to support those drinkers, of which I think we'll have 20 at the outset. So we're really looking for people to get involved on that level. Give Southern New England Landcare a call or get in contact with us via our website, and we can share some more details of becoming involved.
So what's the website called?
We're hosted on the Southern New England Landcare website.
Landcare.
Yep, so if you follow Southern New England Landcare, you'll find us there. More details about the Saving Our Species program can be found on the web as well. But Armidale Regional Council hosts the koala monitoring and reporting of sightings, which also provides a bit of background on the numbers cited in across particular timeframes.
Okay, so Kelly Koala, what do you think about all this? Oh,
she's our special dancing koala. She's
Fantastic.
a special one.
Well,
I think she likes it in here.
I believe
She's
there's an
gonna stick
interesting
around.
fact about koalas, Des, that not many people know. Could you shed some light on that, please?
Yes, they are known to dance, and Kelly Koala here, I think, he's going to demonstrate that for us.
Seriously. Fantastic. Thanks very much to Des and Kelly for coming in today and shedding a lot of information, giving us great information actually about the koala populations close to town and how we can help assist the koalas. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
And now we have dancing koalas.
Somebody help me, yeah.
Okay, welcome back live from Nearam for Black Gully 2020 Festival. Got another live act now. Armidel's got some great musical talent, and we've luckily got some great young people coming through. Archie and Elspeth play original music and covers, and we'll hand over to them, Archie and Elspeth.
Hi, I'm Archie, and that's Elsie. And yeah, like you said, we're going to play some originals and some covers. The first one we're going to do is an original called Perfectly Perfect. So normally what happens is I write the songs and then I take it to Elsie and she adds all this cool stuff and makes it sound really good, makes it come alive. So now we're going to play Perfectly Perfect. Flying on broken wings, tell me how much it stings, even though you know, I know you know, I can't do anything. We've walked these roads so many times, we're zoned out. You can shout back and shout at me, you're lonely if only the thoughts are racing now. Things are perfectly perfect just here. We're fine 'cause we're not picking sides. Though I'm wishing we were nearer. It's alright. It's alright. Picking up the pieces, but I'm missing one. More than one. Falling past empty picture frames is not much fun. More than some. Ooh. Things are perfectly perfect just here. We're fine 'cause we're not picking sides. Though I'm wishing we were nearer. It's alright. It's alright. Flying broken wings, tell me how much it stings, even though you know, I know you know, I can't do anything, even if I want to, even if you need me to. I'm really hoping that you'll push through, 'cause I do, I really want to be alive with you. With you. Thank you. So the next song we're going to play, Elsie's going to play guitar, and we're going to play a song by the Beatles called Blackbird, which I'm sure you've heard of, it's pretty famous. And Elsie's really good at this song, and it makes her look really good. So now we're going to play Blackbird. Blackbird sing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird sing in the dead of night. Take these Okay, that was really good. Good job, Elsie. So the next song, I'm just going to play by myself. And it's a cover of a song called William and Georgia by a lady called Alex the Astronaut, who's pretty good. And so, yeah.
Old castles with the words of Georgia. Now it's breakfast alone, so quiet at home. Was read through an oath she'd read him some 4 years ago. It said, na 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 na, it's gonna be lonely when you're gone. Na 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 na, it's gonna be so lonely when you're gone. All of the trains and the planes take you away. And here I could just be a name. And they cried, so what if I make angry lions adore her? Na 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 na, it's gonna be lonely when you're gone. Na 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 na, it's gonna be so lonely when you're gone. And all of the trains and the planes take you away. In here I could just be a name. Na 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 na, it's gonna be lonely when you're gone. To the sky. The other day he saw a picture of Georgia. Her hair had gone grey, but the smile had stayed. The curtains were open, it had worked out okay. She remembered the night when they sang. Na 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 na, it's gonna be lonely when you're gone. Na 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 na, it's gonna be so lonely when you're gone. Take you away. In here I could just be a name. Na 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 na, it's gonna be lonely when you're gone.
Thank you. So the next song Elsie's gonna do, for a change of pace, she's gonna do a very different kind of song.
And it's the third movement of Handel's F major sonata. Very good, very good. Oh well.
What do you mean, oh well? She's really good at violin. So here's the piece. And that is why she's my partner in music. So the last song we're going to play is a song that we've been working on for quite a while, and we performed it at the Studio Folk Club a couple of weeks ago, and it's called Tree Sap Cafe. 1, 2.
Saucers with painted mint leaves, bringing smiles to faces that sleep. Open 6.5 days a week. Bookshelves full of stories from people who write, and pictures from people who draw and paint and pour their heart on a page. What do you see in the clouds? Water vapor on rainy days, let your imagination run wild. Meet me in the morning in your school shorts on the corner at the Tree Sap Cafe, and we'll talk about the weather. You know you deserve better, and we'll sit there listening. And the coffee is hot and the rain sounds soft through the ceiling. And it's tapping out a tune that will play sometime before the bell for third period rings. Paper lilies litter the ceiling like bubblegum under desks. May sound silly, but the dancing rainbows on your top and in your hair are what I like best. Refracted light from spinning globes above the windows, sending colors into the shadows. What do you see in the stars? Just burning gas from space, but you find hope in the strangest places somehow. Meet me in the morning in your school shorts on the corner at the Tree Sap Cafe, and we'll talk about the weather. You know you deserve better, and we'll sit there listening. And the coffee is hot and the rain sounds soft through the ceiling. And it's tapping out a tune that will play sometime before the bell for third period rings. Ooh.
You. Wow, that was seriously good. I really enjoyed that. Keep working on those originals. They're beautiful. Thank you so much to Elsie and Archie for being part of Black Gully 2020. Fantastic. And now we are going to talk with two women about, what are we going to talk to you about?
Climate emergency.
Climate emergency, that's right. We have, on our right, we have Annette Killer. She's recently been co-chair of the Climate Emergency Working Group of the Environmental Sustainability Advisory Committee of Armidale. That's a long title. Regional Council and a member of SLA and CAA. And on our left, Tanya is the new convener of Sustainable Living Armidale and the convener of Climate Action Armidale Facebook group. Also, a UNE researcher in environmental governance and community engagement. Gee whiz, you sound busy. Both of you. So Annette, can you tell me what you've been working on?
Thank you, Mark. Yes, I've been working on the Climate Emergency Declaration, which happened last year, October 23rd. I don't know if you remember. Do you recall?
not quite. I wasn't here actually. I was overseas. Sorry.
Okay.
It's probably no excuse.
It was a massive kind of outcome from community action. Basically, a petition was started in May. That started to snowball. It got up to 2,000 people, and it timed in with the School Strike for Climate. There was all sorts of action going on for 4 to 4 million people around the world, hundreds of people in Armidale. The council unanimously declared that declaration, and then we had bushfires, we had drought, we had the possibility of Armidale running out of water, so that was a pretty smart move, really, I think.
Yes, exactly. So what does it mean to declare a climate emergency? Tanya?
Well, it's basically indicating how serious the situation is that we're facing around the world, and in Armidale, of course, as everywhere else. So lots of councils, governments around the world have come together to say it's an emergency, we need to act. And it basically is a trigger for realising that business as usual isn't going to be enough to turn the climate around, and so we all need to work on every level to try and make change happen.
Fantastic. So, Annette, what has been happening locally after this declaration?
Right, so part of that declaration was that a working group be set up, a community working group of the council, to that very long name, the Environmental Sustainability Advisory Committee. and that working group did come together, so members of the community with expertise in this area and there it is. And this is the report that came together, and through the COVID crisis, these people worked through that, and that went to council, and eventually in the machinations of that, what that meant was that there's a budget allocation now to the climate action, to moving on the climate action framework. So that's $60,000 this year, and I'm hoping that will go to 3 different projects. One which is solar panels on the Moncton swimming pool.
Great.
And the second one, community engagement in relation to electricity, good use of electricity in homes and businesses, and another one around, seeing what happened to people in the drought around here in our small, people that live in small plots. That's a sort of a pilot idea to get information from them about what happened and what they saw happen and what risks they identified, and then how we can work at looking at that, because it's serious.
Yeah, very serious. And what about UNE? What are they doing as part of this project?
So that's Project 030. That was something that happened also last year, and that's a partnership with UNE and the council. And 25,000 is a seeding grant to them, to that project, which is to bring emissions down in this LGA, local government area, to 0 by 2030 through a carbon credit scheme.
Right, adventurous scheme it is indeed. Tanya, is there anything else you'd like to talk about today?
Well, Climate Action Armidale and Sustainable Living Armidale have been partnering to support the community on a whole range of different activities, particularly to address climate risk. And so this year, we, coming out of the drought, and we started to see a lot of bores being put down around Guyra and around Armidale, looking for an alternative water supply, and some concerns from the community about that. So we've been working with community members to raise awareness and ask questions of council, just to make sure that we're planning carefully for the future under a climate emergency. And I'd just like to say that if people are interested to find out more and they want to get involved, we need everybody to be taking action. And we'd love to see you come and join either Sustainable Living Armidale. Also look for Climate Action Armidale on Facebook. It's a private group and you can apply to join. And I think someone will probably put those links into the comments on the feed, hopefully, as we talk.
Did you hear that? Okay, great, excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, just before you go, I believe that there was something shot recently at the Mother of Ducks Lagoon, which you'd like to introduce.
Yeah, I would like to introduce this. So that was the result of, community concern about possible impact of drawing water down through bores to supply the town, and also to support industry around this region. So the Mother of Ducks Lagoon, which is a protected area, it's been modified many times over the years, grazed, all the other things that have happened there, but still it's a precious area for water birds. It's important that we look after our natural areas, and so the Red Rebels of Armidale went to bear witness, and we're happy to introduce that little short film.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you both for coming today and telling us all about this project. Seems like a very fantastic thing. And I'm sorry I didn't remember it, but I wasn't in the country at the time. Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Here we go. Rebel of, what's it called? Red Rebels, Duck Lagoon video. There we go. Take it away.
As a driver, it can be difficult to see all road users on Armidale streets.
Please make an effort to look out for bicycles, especially at intersections and roundabouts, and be patient with slow riders. When overtaking, it is now law you must put 1 metre of space between your vehicle and any bike rider.
Follow these precautions and Armidale's roads will be safer for everyone. Unfortunately, you will face hazards riding your bike around Armidale. So, here's 5 top tips to make you safer.
Wear something bright and a correctly fitted helmet. 2. On bike paths, ring your bell before overtaking other cyclists or pedestrians. Ring from well back and then again when closer, and give them as much room as possible when overtaking. 3. Bicycle crashes are most common at intersections, and in Armidale we have a lot of single lane roundabouts. When approaching and riding through a roundabout, use clear hand signals and occupy that single lane as a car would. Don't ride on the outside and let cars squeeze past. 4. There are other squeeze points. Assert yourself by moving right well in advance, but not suddenly. Give yourself plenty of room from doors that might open. Move left again as soon as it's safe to let other traffic pass you. 5. Lastly, riding at night, it's law that you have a red backlight and white front light. When approaching intersections, assume no one has seen you. Play it safe and watch if a vehicle is going to drive through regardless of whether they have the right of way.
The safest way to ride around Armidale streets is to always ride defensively. Be alert to the movements of other vehicles and move predictably yourself. Happy cycling!
Welcome back, and for our last live performance today, we have three people called Three, featuring fiddle, Ilian pipes, whistle, flute, banjo, accordion and guitars. Three perform music inspired by traditional and contemporary Celtic styles. They are Kes Watson, Steve Daffra and Dave Carter. You're in for a treat, folks. Take it away, Tree!
Now we have a two-tune set. I'll just have to quickly check tuning now with the pipes. Inspired by the Balkan connections, I guess, with Celtic music, and the Scottish ones as well. So first tune, Balkan Twist, second tune, Ringy Wally.
Okay.
another tree, so they've all been tree originals, coming from the forthcoming album. We're going to finish with a trad tune after that. So we've got Get Real and then Gravel Walks. Thank you so much for having us. Be nice to see everybody's faces next year at this time.
Fantastic treat. Thank you so very much for that. We were dancing here in the Neram Mazda room. Thanks so much for that, and good luck with your recording and future exploits. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
And now, for our very last interview today, we have Adam Blakester. Now, Adam is a sustainability entrepreneur and change strategist with a diverse background of environmental, community, business and government work. And he's also the executive director of Starfish Initiatives, a New England-based charity that is one of few organisations in the world that specialises in rural and regional sustainability. So I'm very pleased to welcome Adam Blakester to Black Gully 2020 Festival. Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Mark.
I would specifically like you to talk about the Starfish's new project, Thunderbolt Community Solar Farm, because you actually want to talk about that as well, don't you?
I'm hoping that's what we're talking about.
It says it here in the notes.
That's what I'm prepared for.
So that I is actually you, not me.
Indeed,
yes, all right, okay.
indeed.
So let's go. Who is Starfish Initiatives?
So Starfish, as you were saying in the intro, is a charity, works on rural sustainability, and our work has spread across social, economic and environmental areas.
Right.
And over the last 12 years, we've done about $500 million worth of work in that space,
Wow.
which is the biggest piece of which is social housing, working with Homes North to secure a contract over a couple of thousand homes across this region that are social and community housing.
Right.
But the rest of it is spread across renewable energy, biodiversity restoration, and a whole lot of social work that we've done.
So what is Thunderbolt Community Solar Farm?
So Thunderbolt's our new community renewable energy project. We're very excited about that. This is a partnership with Morelli Solar, who are also a local-based business based out of Uralla, and the vision is to build a 5 megawatt AC, 9 megawatt DC, numbers that might mean something to some of our audience.
I hope so.
Solar power station. So it'll be a solar farm backed up with a battery energy storage system.
Right.
And in total will produce about the same amount of power that the township of Uralla uses on an annual basis.
Fantastic. Well, so why is this project valuable for that community? What's it going to bring to the community?
So one of the key things we want to do is not only produce clean, renewable, sustainable energy, which in our view is the path to go. We don't want a gas-led recovery, we want a sun, wind, water-led recovery. Another aspect of it is the local ownership. So this is the first time that Morelli have built a project where it'll be possible for locals, local residents, local businesses to be able to invest and be part owners. So owning this project and having a power station of our own is one of the big benefits. I've got a bug on me, which is even not in the gully. Here we are in Neram and the bugs are getting in.
So it says here that in your bio you believe that humanity is entering a profound phase of change on an evolutionary scale as the planet is shifted into a new geological epoch by the collective impacts of humanity. Phew, heavy stuff.
It is.
So we're obviously going through a lot of change, and the rate of change is likely to keep accelerating, as you agree.
I think so.
So what is the broader significance and potential of this project in that context?
In that context. So, yeah, locally produced energy gives us a level of security and resilience. It gives us options. Clean energy as opposed to greenhouse emitting energy is certainly a better way to go. The other aspect of this that people might not realise is that this size of solar power station is what they call medium voltage and the medium voltage network. And it's a gap. There's a lot of renewable energy going onto rooftops, like Neram here, and then there's the bigger utility scale projects like, say, Sapphire Wind Farm. But in between, which is the scale that we can kind of relate to, it's a town, village, rural city scale, there's almost no projects being built. And so Thunderbolt for us is also a model to prove the potential of every other town in Australia having its own power station, and we estimate there could be 10,000 locations that are feasible, like the one in Uralla.
Wow, incredible. So, Adam, apart from this, what do you do?
Yeah, try and nut out that issue that you were talking about before. You know, what does sustainability look like when we're moving into a new geological epoch? Last time this happened, our species came into being.
and
Right.
half a dozen other species of human when exist.
Mhm.
So we can't underestimate how profound the scale of ecological change that's happening and is likely to continue to happen is.
Mhm.
How do we equip ourselves for that? What kind of learning, what kind of resilience, what kind of technology, what kind of lifestyle? That's the question that keeps me awake most nights.
All right. And just on the music.
Yes.
There's a song called Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles.
Beautiful.
And there's another song called Sun, 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 Ooh, 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 Ooh by the Beach Boys. Which one do you like the best?
Oh, definitely the Beatles.
The Beatles.
George
there you
Harrison
go.
was
He's
a
Beatle
legend on
fan.
that track.
All right. Okay, that's the correct answer. No, it's actually doesn't matter. Beach Boys are good too. Thank you so much today, Adam, for being part of 2020 Black Gully Festival.
Thanks, Mark.
And
thank you
if
all the organisers.
people-
It's awesome to have this.
It's our pleasure. And if people want to get involved with this or be part of it, how do they?
Just go to the website, so farmingthesun.net, and you'll see information about Thunderbolt and links, and anyone's welcome to contact me, email, phone, any questions they've got as
Terrific.
well.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank
Mark.
You heard it. Now, thank you, Adam, for being our last interviewee. Now, we have a fantastic event coming up right now, and I asked the leader of the group, Bellydance, Earth and Sky, to give me a short introduction. I think it was a little bit hard for her, but that's okay. We love her. I'm going to reduce it into a couple of sentences here. Bellydance is an expression of people's spirit, mind, heart, and soul life. This ancient dance is born from the celebration of all the people in the village, for it takes a village. From the sacred to the social, from the temples to the dirt, from the past to the present, and from the earth to the sky. Here is Bellydance, Earth and Sky.
برام زشت بخندی که اون ناز نمایم برام یار بگرید که از یار بریده برام یار بگرید که از یار بریده است دیوانه دگر بار ز زنجیر رهیده است بیامید بیامید که گلزار دمیده است بیامید بیامید که دل
Thanks everybody for watching the Black Gully Festival for 2020 online. Hopefully we can come back live next year. But we're just going to introduce you to some of the people who've made today possible. This was a big challenge for us. We've not done something like this, but luckily we've got some fantastic people. First person to thank is Mark Cooper, who's pulled just about everything together through this festival. All the interviews, the acts, everything. So Mark's done a fantastic job this year.
Thanks, Dave. It's been great fun. I didn't think I knew we could do it. Definitely knew we could do it. But to end it on time, to not have any serious glitches during the whole day, we owe it to all these tech people here. And I'm going to bring them on now. Or actually, I'm going to bring on the other best boy here, Sarah Schmuter, who was part of the Black Gully crew. Thanks, Sarah. Been there every year.
And Rachel Parsons,
and
who's
Rachel
the other
Parsons, yes, who key grip part of the organisation. Thank you, Rachel. And behind the scenes, of course, we've had some fantastic tech people. First of all, we've got Ian Mackay. Thanks, Ian. He really did more than just sit here today. He did all the videos, helped with it, lots of stuff. So thanks, Ian. And Mart, what's your last name, Mart? Mark Boyd, another tech guy on the cameras and also part of the video crew. Now we have Laszlo. So come on, Laszlo. Don't be shy. Laszlo, another fantastic contribution.
He's been here before.
And of course we have the sound guy, Brendan Passy. Come on, Brendan, come on down. The room had certain what we call limitations and difficulties, but I think we've managed to get a good sound thanks to Brendan. Thanks so much.
And we have to thank our sponsors as well. We had UNE Life help with some of the videos today, and we also received some funding from Arts Northwest, which helped out a lot.
Fantastic. And thank you, of course, to you, all you people who've watched, all your watching parties, I believe they're called these days, watch parties, and people who are watching from as far as Texas, Vanuatu, the Gold Coast, and I want to say a special hello to Mr. D at Lismore. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. All right. Anybody else want to say anything before we go? I think now we're going to we're going to have an Easter egg dropped, I think it's called, for the warts for the next 50 minutes, and it's a 360-degree video, so you can move your things around and watch everybody in the room. Okay? Have fun. See you next year in the flesh.